Wow. I don't know what Zoom does.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. I'm not sure what
Now I can't hear you.
you can't. Huh? Well, that's even more interesting. Can you hear me
That's
now?
better. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can barely hear you.
Let me put my phone away.
Let's see. There.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. People are coming in now. I think I'm going to start doing a password, you guys.
That might be easier.
I think so, because this is just a pain. Okay.
Do I hear Daisy?
She is here. Say hello, Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
Did you hear Trudy?
Trudy,
Hello.
hi. So sorry to hear about your dad's passing.
Thank you.
I didn't know it was that imminent, and
Well,
it's kind of,
I feel like it came more quickly than we were all prepared for.
yeah.
Because he only got admitted to hospice on December 7th.
Wow.
And then he had that particular night, he fell 3 times during the night. So they really accelerated his move down to memory care because
Yeah.
it was a lot for my mom. And
Yeah.
then, he kind of tricked us, played possum a little bit, because that first week he was in memory care, he was eating and he was interacting with people. And the hospice nurse had told me that, if he continued to prove like that, he might graduate off of hospice by the end of, by after the holidays were over. But then he just took this really quick downturn after that. And so we were all able to go in and see him one more time last week.
That makes a lot of difference. That really helps to be able to
Yeah.
see them one last time. I know my dad, same thing happened with my dad. He rallied and he had 2 days where he was so talkative. We all gathered around and he started giving things away to us.
Oh,
Yes, to the kids, 3 of us. And he just seemed so with it, but 2 days later he was gone.
yeah.
And it was just like he kind of made that decision. It was time to go. He had been really holding back, trying to stick around
Yeah.
for a long time, and finally, and you could see that he was ready,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
So it's those are good memories when you have that day or 2 days where they seem to be really with it and
Yeah.
feeling good.
We were fortunate with that. And I feel grateful for it because
There I am. Okay.
Right.
Now I'm seeing some people.
Welcome, everybody. This feels exciting for whatever's gonna reveal itself tonight. So let's just all put our hands on our hearts and get centered and breathe. First, let's just get centered within ourselves. Breathe into that core soul energy. Just kind of let the day wash away from you so you can be completely present, completely here, now. And so now that we're present with ourselves, let's just through our heart's energy play a little heart tag. And even know the people, but just start sending your heart energy around the circle, touching everybody that's present on the call. And we're just going to create a heart synergy. Woo, very nice. And now we're just going to set it up so that whatever wants to be revealed tonight and shared be done with grace and ease and blessings to all, and that it may go out into the collective to soothe all those that have not yet remembered how to soul sync up. And just kind of breathe your eyes open. And like I said, I am so excited about connecting with all of us tonight. It feels really kind of magical that this is, it's hard to believe that we've cruised through a year already of this soul syncing up. But really, what this said it really has done. It really has soul synced up all of us. And I have a very special addition to our group. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to. Mary Ann, you want to wave? Can you hear me, Mary Ann? You want to unmute?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me join.
Welcome. We are so excited to have you join this Soul Sister group. And let me just share how Mary Ann found her way here. Because was it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago already? I happened to be on Facebook and her picture pops up. And I was like, all of a sudden I heard, well, you're to connect with her. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I Facebook message her and said, hi, I'm feeling like we want to say connect or whatever. So we ended up chatting. And Mary Ann actually was on the Sylvania Bosnia trip with us. That's where I met.
Look familiar.
Yeah.
The name too. So I thought, where do I know her from? Okay.
Group. Yeah. And I know, Mary Ann, you met them. So anyway, I'm going to hand it over to her, but basically she had shared that she had moved and that she was kind of looking for a group to connect and plug into. So, and she felt this one. So here she is. So Mary Ann, welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I just feel I've been really looking for a group and just really grateful, not only with COVID, but I just feel a little bit isolated here in Washington. Not a lot of, since I've moved, lost my corporate job and moved to the Northwest where I raised my kids. It'd just be nice to have a group of like-minded women and men. I don't know if you have men in the group, but
not yet. It's
okay.
Just up to this point.
Yeah. So anyway, really grateful to be here and start this journey into 2021 with you all.
Well, we are so blessed and honored that you are joining us, and we can't wait to see how your soul's energy blesses. And this is a very informal, we don't have any agenda. We just kind of show up and we share and see whatever comes in. And then there's usually some awareness I have that I share, and people can add to it. So it's just really quite an informal thing. So if you have something along the way, this is really the Knights of the Round Table. This is everybody coming together and bringing your special soul's energy so that we can coalesce in a unique way. So welcome. What I'm going to do is sometimes I propose a question for you to share. So in the last couple days, what have you been noticing energetically, or what have you been experiencing with the energy as we're closing down 2020?
Is that a question for me or for the group?
Yeah, that's for you, Mary Ann. I'm going to have
okay.
No, for sure. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's just looking back on the lessons, with gratitude and just the ability to step outside myself a little bit more. And what's really come up for me in the last week or so is judgment, and how I judge not only myself and other people. And so as I observe it, it's a practice to move through it, to recognize it, so that I can move into, a more conscious state where I'm not in a place where I need to judge, right?
And you know what? That's so perfect you said that, because that is the download I got, is we're going to work with
Wow.
energy tonight. So you're right plugged in, right on cue.
Wow.
So I love it. I love it. So again, welcome, and thank you for blessing us with your presence tonight.
Thank you.
Karen Doust, I'm going to have you come on next. So, and you might just want to share where you're located right now too, because we're calling in energy from all different places.
Let me check the temperature and you guys will know.
Oh,
Oh,
Robin,
it's
Robin.
right now. It was 72 earlier, so I drove to Florida the beginning of November and came down here and invited my children for Thanksgiving. And it was our time together. It was only with my children, no other significant others or anything. It was just a time that I think it was once in my remaining lifetime that I think that I will have that type of a gathering. And so everything else for the holidays was virtual with people. And so I've had time in this space on my own. I'm not going to say alone, but because I feel like I'm surrounded by so much you wouldn't believe. I mean, there's just, I feel like I have crowds of energy in these rooms. But kind of to the point you were making about the judgment piece, I feel like I've had time to go within, like look at all the clues and the signs. I feel like everything feels like it has more energy than it had before. So when I look at things, they either look brighter or they look like they're trying to say something, or, or the hues and the colors of those same plants, or, it could be anything, just looks slightly different. So I feel like the energy is shifting, and there's more rainbow colors. But I feel like it's a time where we really have to be amplified in paying attention to everything, because everything is a sign. And what I've noticed is I'm a great manifester. And I have to be careful that my own self-judgment and assessment of what I'm going through and what I'm feeling, I'm not too hard on myself, because I find that I'm much harder on myself than anybody else around me. So like if I'm worried about something, I have to recognize I'm worried, but I can't dwell on that. Otherwise, that worry could be amplified because I'm focused on it. Whether it be how I pay, I have to pay the bills, or, making the trip down here and having that long drive on my own, those types of things. I find that you have to find things. So the whole gratitude piece to me is the magic. So wake up in the morning and find everything to be grateful for before you go to sleep at night. Find everything that you can for what you are grateful for, because it sets the tone of the energy. No matter what ebbs and flows you've gone through for the day. And today was the best day. I think that the energy was all over the place of giving us highs and lows. And today everything was good. I got to talk to people that really lifted my spirits. I got to notice things. Oh, okay. I'll only take one more minute.
There's plenty of time.
I picked up these 2 rocks on my walk today on the beach. And there's really no rocks on the beach. This is just all shells and white sand. Okay. But I saw these 2, and I was to hold them energetically. And it brought in the divine's unconditional love. because that's the best and the highest vibration of energy that there is. So when we were kind of projecting our hearts and our love at the beginning, all of a sudden we raised the energy level of our whole group collectively to the power of 1,000. And so I was told that these will retain that energy. It's not like a one-time thing that I'm holding it. So I had them in my pockets all day today. And I can project this to you guys so you can have this, the gift of this energy too. So
Oh,
that was
love-
really, yeah. So
Oh,
that was
man.
my baby.
Those rocks really rock. Oh my
Aren't
God,
they?
Karen.
Aren't they something?
Yes.
I mean, even to hold them, I can feel the vibration in them.
Yeah.
They're just talking.
Oh, and then tonight when I did my walk, the sun set at the identical time that the moon rose. So I had the rocks to connect that energy. And so that came into it. The morning was the unconditional love, and then the second was I think it was the light, you know, the light of the sun and the light of the moon, and the continuous nature of that. So that's what these bring. If you guys just want to look at them for a second.
Yeah.
And they fit perfectly in the palm of the hand. So when I walk, I can hold them. But that was pretty cool.
Very fun. And again, we have to be present to notice those things that are wanting to work with us. And so kudos to you, Karen, on your presence, that you got to bless us with the rocks and this present. So thank you.
Great.
Sue, why don't you hop on next? And Marianne, do you remember Sue? She was on the trip with us.
Yeah, I
Yes,
feel
I
like-
do.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah, yeah,
Nice
yeah.
to-
It was a lovely trip, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
just amazing time. You know, I feel like what I've noticed is that I get deeper, and I don't know how to maybe go into that so much other than, for instance, when I'm doing my usual routine of the support that you and Mara have for us. I feel like I get so emotionally connected, much deeper. I mean, even just saying it right now just brings up something more for me. Like it's deep. It's and very heartfelt. Not that it always hasn't been. It just feels more, just more of that. And grateful, beyond grateful for just, I find myself just grateful, just all the time for every little thing that just is in my life, because it's like, thank you for coming here and blessing me here, and how this all, you know, the whole of everything right now, where I am, what's going on, how it supports me. I'm feeling that right now more than anything. So whatever that means.
Nice. Well, I mean, I certainly can feel that. It just amplifies my gratitude too. So, and it's so fun. Like all the ways we used to play in the illusion and the other things, it's now working for our embetterment, whatever that word is, embetterment. And apparently it's embetterment right now.
Yeah.
So our soul embetterment. And so it's just such a snowball effect now in the way we've always wanted it to be.
Yeah. It's just there, and it's, it feels good, really good.
It does feel good. And thank you, Sue, and thank you for showing up always and doing the work. Yeah.
Sure.
So lovely. Okay, we're going to have Jennifer Starbright apparently next. We have two Jennifers. The other one can't make it tonight, Jennifer Miller. So Jennifer Starbright, why don't you, you've got the stage or the floor here.
So I am connecting with you from Grand Marais.
Mm.
and I've been here for a week, and I feel like Minneapolis is a million miles away. I just feel like I've been lulled by the waves and the beauty of the nature here.
So why don't you share with Marianne where Grand Marais is?
Marianne, do you know where Duluth, Minnesota is by chance? It's up in northern Minnesota. Yeah. Have you? I don't know if you've lived in the cities or not, but okay.
No, I've not been there, but I know where it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Grand Marais is north of Duluth. I'm on the shore of Lake Superior. It's called the North Shore, and I'm
Mm,
about 25 minutes from the Canadian border.
beautiful.
But I'm right on Lake Superior. It's right in front of me, probably 25 feet in front of me right now.
So we all get to access that energy through Jennifer of Lake Superior, which is really fun. That's a magical lake.
Oh my gosh, it really is. And yes, last night it was clear, and so I could see the moon.
Oh,
And there's a storm coming now, so there's no moon, but it was so bright, so beautiful. The reflections off the water. It reminded me of that weekend we had too. But wow. So I'm kind of blissed out. But I think I'm also noticing that I've been just in the moment because I'm here, and I think it just kind of fosters being in the moment. I did, when you were speaking of judgment, something that came to mind for me a few days ago was I had kind of an upset with somebody, major miscommunication, and usually in the past I would have said, oh, what did I do wrong? But then I always, wait a minute, I didn't do anything wrong. So that I think that self-judgment, a layer had come off, because I immediately always think, okay, what's my part of this? And there is a part of course there is a part of a part in it. But I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have anything invested emotionally here. I'm just going to have a pleasant evening. So I did.
I like what you just said. So let's all breathe in, because as we're doing our work, if there isn't something there, there isn't something there. And I like what you said. I have nothing emotionally invested in this, because you checked and there was no emotion. Whatever it was, you know. And so, yay, good for you. I really, really felt that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good to notice that difference and that awareness. So.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you. And thank you for showing up and blessing us with your presence this evening.
Of course, my pleasure.
Yeah. All right, Linda, you're next.
Yes. A couple days ago when I was listening, Julie, to your audio tape that you send out every day, you were talking about it's time to X out. Can you refresh me on that? Because I had some kind of a relationship here with the Xing out of old programs and restrictions. I just felt that I've been actually working on that consciously, but also kind of unconsciously. So Xing out of old programs and restrictions that I've placed upon myself. And so kind of, Jennifer, that kind of hit a note with me, what you were just saying too, about the old programs that keep me trapped or keep me hostage, kind of, you know, from just being free and being able to not react to, like you said, with the friend of yours, things come up and I take it personally, that kind of thing. So I'm just been feeling that I've been kind of placing some of my awareness on that. So just to X out of what doesn't serve me anymore when I'm just in general in life. And as I was thinking about that, I kind of went into a meditation, and it was very interesting because during the meditation, I found myself kind of floating in a sea of consciousness, and I realized that I could just tap into anything that was present in that sea of consciousness and instantly understand and relate to what I was being shown. And I think that has to do with being able to let go of those old programs and restrictions so that you can really see more clearly. And that's kind of what I've been feeling is happening. And when that happens, I just feel that connection with the oneness and with everyone and everything. So it's been really special for me. I've had several days where I haven't had any major things I have to attend to. So I've had time to just reflect, meditate, and feel that connection, the connection with everyone and everything. So it's been really nice to end the year on that note, and I feel like I'm making progress anyhow. And that's for me, that's you know, finding more clarity, I'd say. And so then here's something that happened tonight. We had Chinese takeout, and so at the end of the meal, my fortune cookies that I selected said, "Clear your mental, emotional, and psychic space, and you'll see." So I thought, man, that tied right in, to the whole thing.
And, it's so lovely how everything just seems like it's
Yeah,
working
that
to
was just kind of reinforcement that, okay, yeah, that's good.
great. Yeah. Yeah. Well, X marks the spot, right? And X can also be a slashing away, a cutting away of things. So that X is a slashing away of what doesn't work, and it's an X marks the spot. It's that clarity point where
Mhm.
two lines meet. That center, in the center lies the bliss. And somebody said, "I'm feeling blessed out with Jennifer." Finding that center when the illusion is slashed away, and like you said, you've gone through the emotions and you can see your beliefs and stuff like that. It's becoming, as we are becoming more of our soulful presence here, everything's becoming just more and more obvious and clear.
Yeah.
And like, it is. It's like you're just like looking around going, wow, I can just like, I can see clearly now the rain is gone, the rain of illusion,
Exactly.
I can see all obstacles in my way. So yeah, yeah. So that was really our X mass, the Xing of the mass gift from Source for Christmas this year is that Xing out. And it's just, I mean, it's wow. It's almost like we don't have words for it, that we can all feel it and sense it, and we're all experiencing it. So thank you, Linda. And I have to say, wow, your presence is really there now, really there. So yeah, good job. Trudy, and before Trudy speaks, we're just gonna send you all a lovely soul sister hug, because Trudy's father just passed away yesterday morning. And he didn't really pass away. He just decided he was complete and went home.
Yes, absolutely, Julie. Absolutely. And I just feel so grateful, so grateful for how he chose to move on. Because it could have looked really interesting and different. And it was simple, which is my dad, simple. So I feel really grateful. And the other thing that I wanted to share was that I feel really enriched, and not just because of all of you guys and the support I've experienced from all of you, but it's been really interesting you know, obviously my family is really big. So there's been a lot of connection with people that I haven't seen or talked to for quite a long time. And, you know, it's just been really heartwarming to hear people share stories about their experience of my dad. So that has been, you know, I feel really grateful for that. Yeah, really grateful for that. And but then there's the particle aspect with my siblings, which you can imagine what that might be like. So I'll be happy when we get all the funeral arrangements and all the particle-y stuff taken care of. And you will be proud of me. I am letting my sister manage the church stuff. I'm just totally hands off with that because it's really important to her and I don't really care. So that's been a gift for myself to
Well,
let
true.
that happen.
And I just want to say that just where you're at with all this, the presence you're holding and the space you're in, and it's just commendable, I guess is the word here, for all the work you've put in and done with yourself. So good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. And again, you just have to share if there's any way we can support you moving
I will
forward.
definitely do that. Thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
lovely. All right, I want to hear from Diane next. Is she on the line? I got to switch.
I had to unmute myself. Hello, everyone. Good to see everybody. So, boy, everybody is just hitting it on the head for me on everything they're saying. I just was like, yeah, I have that. Oh, yeah, that's what I feel. So I saw Julie today, this morning, because I had my family with me for 5 days. And we didn't think we were going to get to see them at all. And then lo and behold, well, not, but my grandkids for 5 days. And my other kids came and went, and when they came to the cabin with us. And you know, this is so, I had a really cool conversation with my son, who is a Lutheran pastor, by the way. And, you know, about a lot of this, and it was really interesting. But it's just, I am so, like you guys are saying, I'm so grateful that I have this support and this, I don't know, knowledge or whatever from Julie and Mara and everybody else, that I just want to tell everyone, things can be so much easier if you would just go through your feelings and have gratitude and, you know, all this stuff. And so my husband is just like, I'm just telling him stuff all the time. He's so good. He listens to me. But yes, a lot of clarity, a lot of just, it's so quick. And what Julie did today, you're talking about new pathways. And I tend to sometimes wake up in the morning and I've been tensing my neck. And then it radiates up here and goes into my head and I get these tension headaches. And Julie, we just blocked those today. We just blocked, it said no longer.
Yeah.
That
Dissolve the path, the old path.
we dissolved the path, this old habit of my body that it just automatically would do. And so I'm now saying, well, that, you know, like, oh, I don't know, whatever. I've been doing that more and more today, dissolving these old, you know, your body remembers just to do things a certain way. And so I've been dissolving those. It's like, okay, thank you. That served me, but now we're done.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it a new way. So anyway, I think that's about, yeah, it was just very great. It was very clear. So
It was. And what I am so blessed when I get to the opportunity and the work with someone one-on-one, the space that's created and the container of remembering is so large, and so it's like this constant stream of remembering in a fresh and new way. And it's so much fun because it was so incredibly fast today. It was the quickest I feel like I've ever experienced bodies shifting. And so that's very fun too, knowing what we know about the DNA, the cellular DNA matrix, and all these things that have been occurring within our physical vehicle and as well as our soul's energy. So it was great confirmation. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that was really fun too. And just how quickly with consciousness, how fast the body can respond and let go and create something different so you can have a different experience with your body. So lovely. I'm so glad. That was really a joy. Thanks, Diane.
Yeah.
All right. Karen, the other Karen hopped on. Karen Hudson. Hello, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everybody. It's been quite some time since I've been on because I've had a lot of life changes going on and some really good things and a lot of learning experiences and everybody, Diane, like you said, everybody touched on, gosh, things that I've been experiencing as well. In fact, even with the neck thing, I noticed that the other morning when I was waking up, I was doing the same thing. And I'm like, body, what are we doing here? This is not how we want to start the day. We want to just relax. And immediately I just felt it relax. But the dissolve method, I like that even better, the dissolve the old path. And that's just super, super helpful. And thank you for that. What I've been doing at night is even just a gratitude stretch where it's something called bedtime bliss. And you just stretch and move around the floor and cross your legs and pull them up to your chest. And there's a part in there too that says, give your body some thanks, some gratitude for all the things that it does for you. And each time I do that, I just, even saying it again now, I just get filled with emotion because I realize I ask a lot from my body, and we all do, and how much it does without even thinking about it. It's like this program that's in there that it says, I'm to respond to whatever is being asked. And how lovely that we are given this blessing of these beautiful vehicles to experience life with in this physical realm. And that has been a huge source of gratitude for me. And after that, I'm able to stand up and I sing My Soul is Rising, Rising, Rising. And last night I sang it to the full moon and afterwards I just give thanks. And I start crying because I have so much to be thankful for. And with, people and friends and family and just, beautiful home. I mean, all kinds of things just to be grateful for. So that's been my experience lately. There's been some other things too, but yet that keeps coming front and center for me, which I'm grateful for.
Awesome. Yeah, the essential gratitude, that's a natural state for the soul. And the more and more we connect with it, the more and more we literally sync up with the truth of who we are and what we're all made of and what everything's made of. And that's ultimately love, living our very essence. Yeah. So thanks, Karen, and for showing up tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Jennifer Miller. Are you on? Can you hear me? Not quite. Okay. Well, then we'll go to Patty. Patty, why did you?
All right. First of all, I want to say how grateful I am to all of you guys. I'm happy to be here today. Usually I listen to the replays and it's, I so appreciate what you guys share. And I just want to say I'm grateful for you guys. I think what I've been experiencing is just the awareness, trying to be like right here, right now. I was just on my treadmill just now. I was listening to Welcome Wherever You Are, Welcome to Wherever You Are from Bon Jovi. There's so much help right here in this moment. If I don't go to the past, if I'm just right here right now, I can handle it better, and I can see the progress I've made. I had a conversation with my mom today that didn't go very well, and I just, I thought, well, she's, doing her thing, and it's not, I don't want to play, so I think it's just a good time to, take a break and not. At first I looked for, is there anger there? Am I mad at her that she doesn't see her pattern? I'm not. I wasn't there. I'm not mad at her. I just, it's an invitation, and I'm going to pass. I'll call her tomorrow. Maybe things will go better. But it just, it's that awareness and the thing that it's okay that, even I have this other thing that's following me around for 3 days, and it wants me to play with it. And I take a few steps there. I'm like, nope, I don't want that. And it's still following me. So I love the concept of having a conversation with it. Stop following me. I'm passing. I don't want that. So I am just grateful for the support I get from, this material and this awareness and the sharing that this group provides. So thank you.
And thank you. And, we feel your presence even when you're not here, and we're so glad that you can join us tonight too, Patty. So, as for me, I just more and more and more, I just feel like my awareness container, let me say, is just getting expanded. And so I played, if anybody has spent any time with me, I'm like a little kid. And so I love to make games out of this for myself. And so what I was playing with today was starting to almost narrate everything I was doing. So I would even be more aware of even the things that are so natural to be unconscious with, like turning on the faucet or drinking something out of a bottle. Or I literally would say, okay, right now I'm drinking out of this bottle, and now I'm setting it down. And now, I mean, like, as much as I could, I played that game with me, and I call it my awareness game, because those things are so easy. Our unconscious definitely knows how to get a glass of water and not even think about it and drink it and put it down. But to become really present to the experience I was having with, like, taking a drink. And then within that, I could experience, like, wow, how many hands did it take for this beverage to find its way to me? And like, who thought this up, this idea of putting this and this and this? This is super cool, and I get the benefit of it. And again, it goes back to that essential gratitude, and you just feel so blessed by what's right in front of you, instead of looking for something that's missing. And I feel like that's really more and more and more what we're really all getting to experience, is that essential gratitude of what is right here, right now. Even if it doesn't feel nice, even if it looks messy, even there's like Patty saying, well, I've been here enough. I don't really require to go down this path with my mother. I know this pattern well, and I don't want to play. And so maybe we'll try it tomorrow, but that is that soul clarity of been there, done that, done with that. And I will put no energy into this. It's really I feel like we are really getting at this deeper and deeper level of how precious our energy is, and where we're choosing it to spend it like money. If you think about it, like, how you might evaluate where you spend your resources. Well, we're starting to evaluate very, very much so where we're going to spend this energy, the soul's, our precious soul's energy. And so, yeah, so that's really, really, that was one on the table for me today. So hang on one second here. I'm just gonna, I think Marianne had so anyhow, what I want to share with you guys, and if you've spoken with me, you've gotten flavors of this, but this is something that has been coming in for me about clearing judgment. I really feel like judgment in the collective is at an all-time high, and most of you would probably agree. It's almost like I see it like this big muck layer of energy here. And so even though we may not be playing in judgment as we once did, there still is energy entanglements from when we did. And there's layers and layers and layers that we're not even aware that we did. So basically what was shared with me is the illusion equal judgment. I'm like, oh, well, wow. That's true.
I really feel that, Julie.
Don't you? Like the
Yes.
judgment. That's how the illusion got going. That's how it kept going. It's all based on judgment energy, because judgment is taking something and saying it's good, bad, right, or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And those were really the number one. Mara always said this, the number one human illusion was that there was a right and a wrong way here. The number one soul illusion, remember our souls got caught in the illusion, was that there were good and bad souls. Instead of remembering there was only learning here and experiencing. So illusion equals judgment. I'm like, oh yeah. So to me, that just even simplifies the illusion even more for me. So if I work with this judgment energy, then I'm working with the illusion. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of play with this. And anytime any of us, me, have judged an experience as good or bad, right or wrong, or whatever, all our past that we did, we literally put that person, place, situation, or an aspect of ourselves in a birdcage. So that's how I see it. I see, someone floats through my awareness from my past, or a situation or whatever. You're just starting to notice the movie going by more and more. And then I catch it and I say, oh, Mom, even if I don't think there's judgment there, I play the game anyway, because I want to make sure there isn't. So you see, I experience that person, place, or thing, or an aspect of me in a birdcage. And then the part of me that is my essence, or my soul essence, I go open the birdcage and say, you are free. Now, some people like to say you are forgiven, whatever. But if there wasn't judgment, there would be nothing to forgive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is just like, I don't know. To me, it's like, whoa, clarity. So I just see like opening up the birdcage, and then whatever's in there dissolves into the light. And then that aspect of me that played in judgment, I bring that aspect back to me, and I love me up. I just love me up. And that was a gift I was given from my new grandson. He was sharing with me. He said, you love yourself back up. And to me, it's so pure, it's so innocent, because my mind can't do a whole lot with that wording, because it's not wording we really use so much. Does that make sense? So it's a really pure experience of integrating that aspect of self back home again. And it's really simple, and it to me it's really powerful. So on my drive back from Colorado, I spent 8 hours just cleaning stuff up, loving me up. And I get out of my car and I'm like, wow, I feel so free. So that is what I would highlight. I mean, that's what feels like is being highlighted, is all this judgment we have put upon ourselves or another. And as we, see things clearly, there isn't any. It's just that, and then boop, and then you're free. Now, if there's an experience where there's still emotion to have, then it's important to go through that emotion first before you do this. But the emotion, the energy in motion does burn away. This is the wording Mara was bringing in. Emotion burns away. It burns away. It burns away. It burns up things, but it also burns a path. To the extent where, like Patty was saying, wow, I don't even have any emotion about my mom. Because emotion, she's had enough of it. That emotion burnt away. Does that make sense, Patty?
It does. It does.
And so you weren't even like, and same with Jennifer, like, I don't even have anything for this. Because, go ahead.
And I need to allow her to be where she is. I don't, that's where she is.
And you get to decide, like you said, if you want to play there or not.
Yeah. I like what you said about if there wasn't judgment, we wouldn't need forgiveness. I can love myself up, and that's even better than forgiveness.
And part of it is there was a lot of things put on that concept that became part of the illusion. Okay, so that's why that word has a lot of gunk on it, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this other verbiage right now, because my mind doesn't have any whatevers do with it. It is really pure. So yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Does that feel helpful? Yeah,
very much.
So I would invite you this week to play with that and to notice if it resonates with you and if it's something that supports you, because it's a quick cleanup, let me tell you. And it's just, it takes you out of that quantum entanglement in the way it was and just frees. It just frees energy, just really frees energy. So, and the other thing I wanted to say too is sometimes I judge good things. So I even put good things in there because if they float through, because there was really no good or bad, right or wrong. There are things that felt good and things that didn't feel good. But part of that is I was like, oh, I'm judging this as good. Well, that means something else is bad. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like we're splitting hairs with judgment here. We're getting, because it was like this, it just snarled its way into the illusion in every way possible. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. And I really have enjoyed playing with it because it's light and fun, and it's quick and easy, and it's just something that's working for me now. So if it works for you, great, 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 great. So I'm just going to invite everybody to go around, and if you could, if you can, just kind of lightly peruse this last year. And if you, everybody, I'm going to invite everybody to go around and just share what's one thing you've really noticed with yourself that either is no longer available, that maybe you used to plan, or that you have access to now. Does that make sense? So we're just kind of marking our progress here. I feel like it would be a fun exercise to go back to some of the earlier soul sync ups at the beginning of the year and just experience where we were, and then come back to this one and go, wow, look at how much we've all shifted, changed, and grown. You know, it's, and you don't have to watch the whole thing, but get a taste of the energy. I feel like that would be a fun exercise. But so for me, what I really feel is no longer with me is I really don't care. And that was a biggie for me, because I really am. It matters not to me. I really can't do something with someone's thinking. I mean, I never could, but I really get that I can. And I really don't have access to it anymore, to care in that way. So if you got under that clause, that grandfather clause with me, congratulations. And it's not that I don't care, it's that I can't care. Does that make sense? I can't do anything with illusion. Let's reframe it. There is nothing in me that can participate or wants to in that way any longer. So that's what I would say for myself. So Karen Doust, why don't you go next?
Oh man. Okay, so I just wanted to share one thing. When I showed you my rocks, my exercise with that unconditional love was I projected it to my ex and my children. And I noticed that the people closest to you hold all the strings. They're always the toughest audience, right? And so I saw that they dissipated. So this whole thing with the release of the judgment thing, to me, if we can energetic release ourselves and send love in that direction, or like you said, remove that judgment layer, there's so much healing behind it. And so after that exercise, when I took a step, I found 3 feathers for my 3 children. So this bird cage thing is something unbelievable.
I love how we're all plugged in.
This was today. This was a few hours ago. You know, it's like, anyway, looking at the year, I would say it was a year of revealing me.
Nice.
I learned how to understand the world around me as a mirror of my own projections. And it allowed me to spend time with me, because I am a really good fixer. I mean, I work in this corporate world and I can fix just about anything. And so when I was shown things this year where I had to step away from fixing things for my children or fixing things for other people, that was hard. Because I had to look within to see if it served me or not. And so it's kind of like, it's not you don't care, it's I want a different role. I don't want that role anymore if it's playing in the illusion. And for me not to play in the illusion, I have to get to know me and the part I play and who is me. I forgot who I was because I was caring for everybody else. And so it's been a really, and part of knowing me is the collective energy of this group that helps amplify that too. There's just such a great healing with that. So I want to just thank you all guys so much for that connection this year. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And remember the scale, right? The judgment scale, that your heart must be lighter than a feather. That's the true test. So that's what also came up when you showed me feathers.
Oh, cool.
So, great. Sue, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I guess, I was being with that. You know, for me, being the truth seeker that I am, it is just more of living my truth. It's almost like I can't not. Here's an example. So yesterday I was with my granddaughter. We were just doing a little shopping that we had arranged to do, just she and I. It was a Christmas gift still. And so we're going to go into Target. And I said, okay, we're not going to wear a mask. Now she's 7. And she's like, but Grandma, we can't do that. We have to. And I said, we're not going to. I said, I've done this before. We're going to go into the store and we're not going to wear a mask. And so sure enough, we walk into the store and one of the employees greets us and she just says hi. And I said, see, we got through by the first person and they didn't say anything to us and we're going to be fine. This, and it took so much fear away from her that she's had, that we're going to be in trouble if we don't do this. I said, you know what? It's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. Now, of course, we had to go into Panera and we had to wear a mask. Okay. So there's some sort of discernment here, obviously, but I wanted to show her too that, and it wasn't for her. It was me, but she just happened to be there. So this year has been more living that truth, despite whatever's going on around you, is just standing up for what you believe. And that's, I think for me, that's, and not judging where other people are, obviously that's, a choice that people have to make for themselves. But for me, it's doing what feels right for me. So I guess for me, that feels most maybe top.
Yeah. And what's here for me is, I want to say, as for me in my house, I serve love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing, Sue.
Sure.
Diane, why don't you go next?
I had to take off my mute. Yes, this was a really big year for me, I feel. I grew the most in many, many ways. I call it growing, I don't know. Just first of all, getting really in touch with my feelings and noticing them, acknowledging them, going through them. I feel like I'm pretty proficient at it. That was huge. Just so many things. I think I just found my truth, speaking my truth. And letting go of illusion and seeing the illusion for what it is and letting that go and going through my emotions, and just that whole thing has just been very freeing.
Yes. Yes. I feel like we all can concur with that as well. So thanks for sharing, Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Trudy, why don't you go next?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing for me this year has been letting go of carrying everybody. And remembering that I'm the only person I have to carry anywhere. And it hasn't always been a fun experience remembering all of this, because trust me, my mom will press your button for you. But it's been really such a expansive sensation to have. You know, and obviously with my dad passing, I just had for, you know, there's been a lot of particles the last couple of days, but even for just a little while today, I was kind of reflecting on, wow, what is it going to be like when it's just me? You know, where I don't have to, you know, be the oldest, be the healthcare person, be the whatever, you know. And so I really feel grateful for the remembering and the allowing myself to let go of that responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, and again, I feel like we all have flavors of that. So, yeah, you speak into it for all of us. But thanks, Trudy. Good for you.
thanks.
Lynn, how about you?
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, okay. You kind of clicked out of there for a second.
Okay.
I think I'd have to say I feel like in the past year I've been slowly disentangling from the illusion, and it's just so much more clear to see when I'm in it, when I'm surrounded by it, and not be so reactive and not be reactive. That's my goal, is to just stand back from it and disentangle from it. And everybody's on their own path. I wish them the best. Send out love, connect with everything with love, and then just let those people be, you know. Can't change them. But I do feel that the more I can disentangle myself, the clearer the whole thing is, this reality.
Mhm.
And that feels good. That is a sense of freedom. Like, I don't have to think about that stuff anymore. That's not me, and I'm not a part of it. I don't have to be a part of it, even though I live on the planet. And I'd rather concentrate on the love part of it, you know, the positive, the love. Just send people love. I do that every morning now. I wake up and I just connect with everybody on the grid around the earth, and I kind of feel that. I feel like we're connecting, and I think everybody really wants love. I mean, isn't that what we all want? I mean, I think so. I think it's good. I think I'm in a better place, and just going to continue on that path. So.
Awesome. That's perfect. I love how everybody's speaking into everybody's experience. It's like a rainbow of things we're all experiencing. Some might jump up more than others, but yeah, they're there for everybody. So thank you. Jennifer, why don't you share next?
Yeah, let's see. So one of the big things is I too have let go of caring. And for me, it looks more like I don't care what other people think of me. And I've noticed it in my interaction with at work, with coworkers, and with my family. Especially with my mom's passing, I had a lot of interaction with my family. And then the kind of the flip side of that, or the flip side of that coin, is that I feel like I know myself more. Like I've gone deeper into myself, like grounded into myself, perhaps. So that feels good. It feels solid. It feels, and another layer, it feels like I've been appreciating simplicity more this year, appreciating just the simple things. The simple, having life, living life more simply just feels more pure. It just feels better to me. Those are judgment words I'm noticing.
Well, it feels more in alignment. Is that?
Thank you. As I say, it feels more me. It feels more me. It resonates with me. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I've noticed.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just want to share 2 words that are really kind of on my forefront, let's say, is sweet, and with things are sweet, like focusing on what's sweet, like, oh, this has a sweet energy. Sweet equals innocence. So, like, oh, this sweetness. And that's one of the things that's so beautiful about Christmas is there's so many things that radiate that sweetness, that innocence, that purity. So, yeah. So, that's always a nice thing to tune into is the sweetness of this living experience.
Yeah, I feel that. And Julie, that's how I feel about my cat. I adopted my cat in February, and I tell her all the time, she's so sweet. Her energy is just, I think she's gifted that to me with her presence. So that really resonates.
Yeah. I saw, that reminds me of a comic thing I saw on Facebook today. It said, the only Zen moments I've experienced is with my cat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cute. The cat was all Zen. So, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. Karen, the other Karen Hudson, why don't you share?
I think what I've noticed is just from these last few days and experiencing Christmas and with COVID and just with a simpler Christmas. There was no drama. There was no, it was sweet. I mean, the words that you're describing, that Christmas light that came through, that was so pure and so beautiful. And then the light that's come through the moon in these last few days, I've just noticed that it's like tonight's gathering, which I appreciate all of you because all of you bring so much wonderful and unique energy to the group and collectively as a whole, we're one. It's amazing. And it just felt like this gathering just brought it all together, full circle, so to speak. With judgment into freedom, it just started ringing Christmas bells. It was like, holy cow. And it's funny because when I do my gratitude at night, I'd been adding out of the words just started flowing. It was like, I'm grateful for my peace and PIECE and PEACE and my freedom and just my joy, my love, my clarity. All those words have just been really coming forth from inside. And I feel like that's where my biggest growth has been through this year. And that's where I was not as clear before. Yeah, that's a judgment, but I am much more now. And feel like that path is being clearer to me of where I am to be. Each day seems to unfold to something new, and it's exciting and it's joyful and loving, and I'm grateful for all of it.
Great. And so what I'm hearing you say, Karen, is like the words are becoming living for you, not just.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
Nice. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Patty, how about you?
I think when I look back at the last year, I think I know myself better. The journaling, my voice feels like my own voice feels like it's heard more. It's easier to recognize those invitations that I want to pass on. It's easier to recognize those things that I've been there, I don't want to go back there. I just appreciate your encouragement to do the self-care and to take time to help myself and clear the stuff that doesn't need to be there. So gotten to know myself better, and my voice inside is stronger, and yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I believe we heard from everyone here. So I feel like as we move forwards into this 2021, so if 2020 was all about the collective, so let's breathe into that. It was all about the collective energy. We really kind of went together in a lot of ways. 2021 is going to be about the individual. So it's really so important how we have met ourselves this year in a new way. And because that is going to be essential for what we're going to be asked to experience into the next year. And so like I really heard overall, like I know myself more. It's easier to see what's mine, what's not somebody, or what isn't. And less do I really even care if someone wants to play in the illusion. I have nothing for that anymore. And so that all of that is like letting go of the ballast off your hot air balloon and the rising that's occurring within us. So, you know, we have to have nailed this clear vision. That's what this year's been about. And now we're going to be clear and one next year, 2021, clear one, you know. So that clarity has to have been one. And then also it focuses on the one, the individual. So just more layers of clearing will be occurring. But it's almost like it's really like we're starting to live. I am in this world, not of it. Or I am, is that what it said? I can't remember, but basically, yeah, you can be in the world, but not of it. You're not a part of the illusion anymore. But you still are here. And next year is all about taking what you know and doing something with it. Taking that action, doing something with it. You know, I shared in the forecast about what came through, or Mara, about the renovate, excavate, or destroy. And again, I feel blessed that we have that as an awareness that is what the universe is going to be looking at from each one of us. And that's how it wants to proceed in this next year. So, I mean, I'm good. I'm good with renovate. I'm real good. And I was being with myself today. I like feel like I want to have that on my mirror, write it on my mirror. I have these cool window markers, or post-it notes, or, you know, that might be something you want to kind of have so that you have that in your, the forefront of your awareness to say, yeah, I'm choosing renovate. I'll choose that. So, I just, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank each and every one of you guys. I cannot tell you how blessed I feel to be a part and with people that truly want to remember and move at this soul speed, because I do it anyway. If I sat here on Zoom by myself, I'd do it anyway. And I'd probably have a pretty good time.
Yes, you would, Julie.
Let me tell you, it's a lot more fun that I see other faces here. So anyway, as we are moving forward, making soul tracks is how it's announcing itself as we evolve as a group for the next year, making soul tracks. And so to me, it'll be interesting to see how that starts to reveal itself. But I feel like there's going to be a lot more movement in it. And I don't know what that means yet, other than that's a sense I have. So if you feel like you want to continue to participate in that, then I mean, I'm gonna, there's a picture that wants to come through for this to anchor it, and I'll email that out and stuff, and everybody can just respond to that email as your soul commitment to participating. But it really is, I really feel like overall 2021 is asking us to step up in a big way. There is no more time to waste here. So let's just breathe into that, because there isn't any more time. There is no more time to waste. This time knows what it's for, and it knows what it's about. And our souls are sinking into what that is. And if our human is gonna drag its feet, is not nice. Human, no. So, and if if you're present on this call, and yeah, I mean, you're pretty much, you're in there. So that would be the word is focused commitment. That's what I keep hearing. We're going to be asked for a focused commitment, which means to me it's bigger than just a commitment. It's a focused commitment.
Well, and Julie, it feels explosive to me what's coming.
Okay. Yeah. Say more.
And not necessarily explosive as in destructive, but more kind of like when you experience a solar flare is what it feels like to me, because because all of this mucky whatever stuff is evaporating. It's just going away. And so it's making all this room for all this stuff to just, whew, here I am. Yeah. That's what I'm experiencing.
Right. And I also experience it's going to be it's interesting that my nose itches. That means somebody's trying to talk to me. But that there's a huge body element again to next year with this. So communing with
Julie, did you want to share this?
Oh, why don't you?
Okay.
That was, I supported you in that, remember, but you kind of brought it through. So do you remember that?
Well, I don't know what it really means. It was it's so simple. It reminds me of that church thing where you open
here's a church, here's people. Yeah. But the mudra, I feel like it's an old mudra we used to do. And Diane's hands did it in her session. And so I can turn it sideways so we can kind of see how you.
So you just bring your finger up and down, and then at some point we X'd. I don't know. We did something with the X with our.
For the X. Yeah. So it's basically like bringing your. Yeah. I'm holding my phone. Bringing your hands together, and then the index fingers kind of move up and down. Mm-hmm. So you can just kind of feel that energy, like whatever it's doing. And
it feels like a pump, like we're priming a pump.
Okay. Yeah. And then the pinkies evolved into Xing, like creating an X, not just sitting there. So they were, as you're pumping, you're Xing out what isn't working, or Xing out energies that are expired, let's say, and then you're pulling in the ones that want to be there.
Yeah.
And it feels really old. So, because basically, I don't know, we had done something and I said, well, I don't even know how. I asked you, well, what do hands want to do or something? And then your hands just start doing
Just
that.
started doing and yeah, and we did this a long time ago.
It's really old to me. And so, and then it just, everything old evolves into something new because it has an ever greater experience of itself. And it says, wow, look at me. Now I can do this. And so that's why, we appreciate, we tap or tip our hat to what has been, but it is evolving. It is in motion. And so you want to be aware to not get hung up, let's say, on a way that it has been in the past, where it's like gears, they're constantly churning and moving, and even though it was written about, it was it got us here, but it has a new expression of itself now.
Well, Julie, I think that's reflective in like, if we go back and we look at some of those older, those not older, but those earlier videos that you and Mara did, and when you view them again, at least for me, I have a whole completely different experience of those videos.
Yes.
And even just like even the current videos, like the soul yoga and the toning ones, I have a different experience of those every time I do them.
I went back and did some September's toning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is super cool. But see, part of this is we're meeting it with a new consciousness too, like a greater consciousness. So we have access to more.
Yeah.
And really, I feel like our vehicle, our body as the vehicle, the feeling meter, let's say, is gotten better. You can just so experience things in such a heightened way, which I really feel has a lot to do with this brain resending and the beta block that's been going on, which is very helpful. Yeah. So overall, it's just, I don't know, it just feels nice. So let's just sit here and put our hands on our heart. Let's just have the experience that is in this now moment to be enough. And this beautiful energy that we have brought together and co-created together, we're just going to send this out to bless the planet. And the whole solar system. And the whole universe. And the whole cosmos. All the way home. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Julie.
you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, ladies.
Then I look forward to connecting. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you
That's it.
too.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
Happy New Year.